All right, let's get ready for Chapter 2, Lesson 4. If you would be so kind as to turn to page 107, 107 in your Volume 1 Go Math books. We're going to be looking at Lesson 4, using bar graphs. And our goal here, I can read and interpret data in a bar graph. So let's zoom in here just a little bit more so we can kind of see what's going on here. Maybe even more than that. All right, here we go. So we're going to use a bar graph. A bar graph uses bars to show data. A scale of equally spaced numbers help you read the number that each bar shows. So let's take a look here. The students in the reading group made a bar graph to record the number of books they read in October. How many books did Seth read? We're going to go ahead and we'll underline that. That's part of our cubes method of solving. We want to know that. How many books did Seth read? Well, let's take a look here at this bar graph and see some of the things that that will help us out. First of all, we have a title, and the title right here is going to tell us what this bar graph is about. We have a scale of numbers, and you'll notice this is 2, 4, 6, 8, so every line on here counts by twos. We have the length of each bar. All right, the length of each bar shows us how much each student read. All right, and so we can see that each of these bars are of different length. And then each bar is labeled with the student's name. So Max, Amy, Seth, and Kate. All right. So let's really focus in here on Seth, because he was the one that this question is about. So find the bar for Seth, which is going to be right here. And it ends at, so see this bar right here. Actually, if we were to take it and just go all the way down, right, it ends at 8. So, Seth read 8 books in October. And that's how you would tell using a bar graph. Pretty cool stuff. Now, let's take a look here at how many books did Max read. So Max is up here, and we can zoom in just a little bit more again. Let's see what we got here. Max, we can move the line over. Max is right on that 6. All right. So how many books did Max read? Well, he read 6. Who read 4 fewer books than Kate? Well, first of all, we need to know how many Kate read. And Kate is right here at 12. And we need 4 fewer. So we can subtract 4 to get 8. So we're looking for the person that's had 8 books. So here's that right there. Let's see, not Kate. It's Seth right there. It's not Amy. Amy went over that. And it's not Max. Max is not to that 8. Okay? So who read fewer books? 4 fewer books. That is going to be our friend Seth. Now, what if Amy read 5 more books? How many books did Amy read? Shade the bar graph or shade the graph to show how many she read. So, Amy read 5 more books. Now, this situation here with Amy is really interesting. Let's first of all take a look at the books that she read. So here's Amy right here. All right, and it's in between the 8 and the 10. All right, and because this is an even scale, what we do know is that Amy read 9 books. Okay, there's one more than 8, one less than 10. That's going to give us 9. So now we need to shade in if she were to read 5 more books. So we'll go ahead and let's color that in. So 9 plus 5 will give us 14. So we want to, there's the 14. We're going to take it all the way out to there. And draw this graph all the way out to there. And that's where it would be. See if we can't go ahead and get this filled in here. I think we can. It's pretty close. And let's give the line color that same treatment. There we go. So it's right out to there. Looks pretty good. So if Amy read 5 more books, how many books did she read? Shade in the graph. She would have read 14. Okay. Moving right along. Let's take a look at the next page. And we have some more examples here. Now, a bar graph can go horizontal, which is going to be from left to right, or it can go vertical, up and down. And one way that I remember this, and again, my little helpers may or may not help you, but when I'm looking at horizontal, I look, okay, H for the horizontal. What makes the H an H? Well, it is that line that goes across. And so if it goes across, that's what horizontal is. And for V, for vertical, I almost think of 2 lines that that meet. Okay, so they go kind of up and down, a little bit slanted, but the vertical lines, that's all there is to it. So they always go up and down. Might help you, might confuse you, but that's how I tell the difference. So a horizontal, the bars go across left to right. The length of the bar shows the numbers. And then a vertical bar graph, the bars go up and down. The height of the bar, the height shows the numbers. Okay, and so you'll notice that the axes here, the ice skating is on the side, while over here the activities are on the bottom. So what does the space between the 2 numbers represent? So from 8 to 12, from 12 to 16, what does each space between the two numbers represent? Well, it would be um, the numbers. Let's see if we can make this a little bit bigger here. The numbers between the factors of 4. And let me explain what that means. All right, we are counting by 4s. 0 and then 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 4 plus 8 is 12. 4 plus 12 is 16. So we are counting by 4. So if we had the factors of 4, like an 8 and a 12, all right, and let's just go ahead and maybe put that right there. So, for example, the numbers 8 through 12, all right, so 8, it's going to represent what? Well, it's going to represent 9, 10, and 11. Okay. So why do you think the scale in the graph is from 0 to 28 by 4s instead of 0 to 28 by 1s? What other scale could you use? Well, with some of the activities that we're going to be doing later on, if you did this by 1s, my goodness, the graph could go on forever. All right, so what that does, why do you think the scale is from 0 to 28 by 4s? That's the way, at least the way I'm looking at this, is it using the scale of 4 allows the graph to stay manageable, or in other words, not taking up lots of space. And let's figure out what I spelled wrong here. There we go, manageable. What other scale could they have used? Well, that's an interesting one. As long as you kind of know your basic facts, I think that you would be okay. They may have used a scale of 0, like 2s. That would be 1. But really, what you have to do here, and this is this gets tricky. Right? We have 20 right here. We have 14 right there. 24 and 18. All right, because it's right there. If we draw this line right here, you could go ahead and change that line. All right, it's right halfway in between. All right, so we probably could have used a scale of 2, but because these are all even numbers, that's what really kind of helps out, is that these numbers are even numbers, so they go halfway in between there. So the other part of this that you could probably put, and let me go ahead and make this just a tad bit more manageable. You could also use a scale factor of 2. All right, so we have our show and share portion here. You know what that means. We're going to go ahead and pause the video, give you an opportunity to work on it. We'll come back and see how you did. make corrections as needed. All right. Hope you did well with that. Matter of fact, I know you did well with this. So, what kind of graph do we have here? Favorite ways to exercise: biking, walking, soccer, karate. And then we have number of students here. So, which activity did the most students choose? And we're supposed to remember that which bar is the longest. So the one that chose um, the most popular is probably going to be the longest bar here. So as you're looking in here, it's like, oh, this one was way out here. All right, and that would be soccer. Soccer. How many students answered the survey? Wow. What a great question. Well, to first of all figure this out, we have to figure out how many people in each category here. So we had a bike. All right, 6, 8. This was in between. So we've got 7 right here. 7 people picked the bike. And then walking, we had 6 people choose walking. And then for soccer, we had 14 people pick soccer. And for karate, we had 10. Now, just listing these is not going to give us the right answer. What we have to figure out is how many total took the survey. So what we have to do is we have to add up the total number of people that responded. And then we would know the total number here. So let's take a look here. I'm going to go ahead and group the 6 and 4 together. That's going to give me 10. All right. And that's a 0, so we're still at 10. And then a 7, that's 17. So 17. And then 1, 2, and 3. That's 37. All right, 37 people answered the survey. Which activity received 7 fewer votes than soccer? Well, we know soccer is 14, right? And so what we're looking for is the one that, let's see, 14 minus 7 equals 7. So we are looking for the activity with 7 votes, and that is going to be biking. And there you have it. Such fun things to do with the graphs. Really looking at it and kind of diving into the data and see what it really means. So, making the corrections that you need. Your assignment will be coming soon. And good luck.